and welcome to today's concert. I am Larry Witzlaven. I'm teaching ethnomusicology here at the University of Maryland, and the world music ensembles are a very important part of our ethnomusicology program. All of our graduate students are required to take it. And we have three ensembles. Last week, the Korean ensemble played. Last night, the Balinese gamelan did a very successful concert. And today, we have the Koto ensemble. As some of you know, every spring, the Koto ensemble from the University of Maryland joins together with the Toho Koto Society. This is a tradition that has been going on for 43 years under the supervision of Okamoto Sensei. So I think she deserves a big round of applause just for keeping this going for so long. These ensemble classes are open to all students at the University of Maryland. There's an undergraduate course and there's a graduate course. You don't have to be a music major. We have students from all departments. And some of the students become so interested that they keep continuing after they've graduated, some of them coming back from other places for this concert. So we have a very special relationship with the Koto ensemble here. Today's concert features quite a range of pieces. We have traditional repertoire going back several hundred years, a range of compositions from many different decades of the 20th century, and one piece that's as recently composed as 2012. I will be turning this over to one of the Koto players, Stephanie Davis, who will be introducing the individual pieces. But first, let me read a message from the Japanese embassy. The embassy people right now are rather busy because the Prime Minister is in Washington, D.C. I suggested we should invite him to the concert, but I think he has a very busy agenda. Anyhow, here is a message. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 43rd Annual Spring Koto Recital, presented by the University of Maryland Japanese Koto Ensemble and the Washington Toho Koto Society. The tones of the Koto gracefully complement the scenes of spring that bloom all around us this time of year. Washington, D.C. recently concluded the 103rd Annual Cherry Blossom Season, which ran over 4 weekends in celebration of Japan-U.S. friendship. I was delighted that so many of this year's springtime activities and cultural exchange programs featured the Koto's unique sound. I would like to recognize the members of the Washington Toho Koto Society and the students and faculty at the University of Maryland for their tremendous dedication to the study of the Koto. Your efforts make it possible for the Washington, D.C. community to share in the enjoyment of this traditional Japanese art form. Signed, Masato Otaka, Minister for Public Affairs, Embassy of Japan. Please enjoy the concert. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Stephanie Davis, and I am a member of the Washington Toho Koto Society. I was fortunate to begin studying Koto when I lived in Japan, and after I came back, I was even more fortunate to find Okamoto Sensei and the society and to begin playing with them. As Professor Witzlaven noticed, and thanks to him for his kind words and to the Embassy of Japan for sending along their message of greeting, we welcome you today to our 43rd annual spring concert. Okamoto Sensei founded the Koto Society in 1971, and we have been performing throughout the Washington, D.C. area for the past 40 years. We perform here annually at the University of Maryland every spring, and we also perform for the National Cherry Blossom Festival, as well as other local events. We are joined today, as Professor Witzlaven stated, by the University of Maryland Koto Ensemble. We are also joined by members of the Virginia Beach chapter of the Washington Toho Koto Society. We'll be starting our concert this evening, or this afternoon, with a piece that celebrates the recent cherry blossoms. The title of our first song is Henso Kyoku Sakura Sakura. This piece was arranged in 1961 by Kikushiro Masaaki. Its composer is unknown, but the song itself, the melody, originated during the Edo period from 1603 to 1686. This is a variation on the familiar Cherry Blossom melody, which I'm sure many of you have heard throughout time. It's one of the more famous Japanese songs. And Henso Kyoku means variations. So we will be playing the same melody in a number of different styles this afternoon. We have two soloists who you will hear featured throughout the piece. We are also fortunate and grateful to be joined by one of our longtime collaborators, Mary Josie Blanchard, on the flute, and another longtime friend of the Koto Society, Dr. Noriko Hunter, on vocal. The Society has many members here in the Washington, D.C. area. We also have members nationwide, in Spain, in Ireland, in South Korea, and of course in Japan. We hope to make some more friends here this afternoon. Thank you for coming out, and we will get started with Henso Kyoku Sakura Sakura. Thank you. The Koto Society and Okamoto Sensei were honored to receive the 2014 Marshall Green Award from the Japan America Society of Washington, D.C. last December. JSW awarded the Society with this citation for the Society's significant and sustained contribution to strengthening the relationship between the United States and Japan for more than 40 years, by bringing Americans and Japanese closer through hundreds of performances of traditional Japanese music. The Society pays special tribute to you for your active involvement in educational, cultural, and people-to-people understanding between the two countries. We are thrilled to involve so many people in the Society's music, from the university students who play with us, to the university students, the friends and family who come out to support us, and who are kind enough to assist us during this concert by serving as stage crew. We would not be able to do it without them. We are a nonprofit made up entirely of volunteers, so we are eternally grateful for everyone who provides us with their support. When the Koto Society started, we had to develop a unique way of identifying ourselves with Washington, D.C., where we are based. You can see one of the most famous features of Washington, D.C. if you look at our logo that's hanging above the gold screen. Does anybody see the special feature of Washington in our logo? That's right, there is the monument in the base of the Koto Bridge. So we incorporated that particular symbol, that long-lasting, strong symbol of Washington, D.C., into our logo as a sign both of our hope for longevity and our ties to the area. Okamoto Sensei is a teacher in the Ikuta School of Koto. The Ikuta School was established by Ikuta Keio in 1695. This school of Koto was first concentrated in the northwestern region, the southwestern region of the main island of Honshu in Japan, near Kyoto and Osaka. The Ikuta school, Ikuta Kengyo, was inspired by the shamisen style of music, the three-string guitar-like instrument that's played with a very large plectrum. And so he revised that style, he adapted that style to the koto. So the pentatonic tuning that you hear in our instruments comes from a scale that he used when he was translating the shamisen music and shamisen scores for the koto. The other very popular school of koto is Yamada School, and there are a couple of differences between Ikuta School and Yamada School that you can see in our performance. Actually, most of our kotos are Yamada School kotos. Ikuta School kotos are slightly narrower and longer. Another difference you can tell is that our picks, Ikuta School picks, are these squared off rectangles that are much more similar to the plectra that are used by shamisen players than the Yamada School picks, which are kind of oblong ovals. They look like normally shaped long fingernails. As you've noticed, many of us play sitting on the floor, sitting seiza. That is the traditional way of playing, being closer to the ground, was historically how koto was played. It came to Japan in the 8th century from